a key conversation that we had that we thought would be great to bring to the table is the feeling of when everyone is winning but you, or at least when it feels that way, meaning you're dealing with comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And comparing yourself to others is a very, very common thing where it's natural. We're human.
Yep.
We do it. And it can get to a point where it's unhealthy.
It can very quickly.
So has it ever gotten to the point that it was very unhealthy for you?
Right off the bat.
Right off the back.
It has. It honestly has.
Okay.
And I catch myself now. Well, let me just pause. So now I have it to where when I feel like I'm always going to someone. So this is with social media. So every time I'm like going to someone's page all the time just to look at what they're doing, or always like, I could be doing that, or blah, 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 blah. Like literally comparing myself to either a complete stranger or someone that I know, I either like unfollow if it's someone that I don't know. And if it's someone that I do know, I am conscious about it. So it's like,
okay,
Casey, you need to pause. And then I pray about it because I'm like, I should not be doing that. I live a life that I prayed for, and that even though some things that I've prayed for are not coming to fruition right now, does not mean that it will never happen.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's interesting. I wonder how many people in the world deal with this on a daily basis, like a percentage. Like if
90% of people. You would 99% of the people.
99.
You want to know why? Because the 1% of people. Well, I probably shouldn't.
Actually, I feel like it's even worse on the higher net worth people.
That's why I said 99%. The 1% are the kids who just don't care about anything and they just live their life.
That's a good point.
Oh, Laura, they're living their life. They're not thinking about anything. They're the 1%.
So then what makes us compare? Like when a person is happy, what makes us compare?
That is, dang, DB. Okay, so what I will say, in my opinion, and I have always said this to you, especially with like YouTube and stuff like that, it's like people want what they can't have, or people want what they feel like they can't have. So in my head, it's like, I feel like it's always like a want. Oh, I want that, or that looks better, or that looks cool. Now, some comparing is not always bad, I will say, in my opinion. My grandma has a beautiful, like she used to have a beautiful garden, or like she has a really good green thumb. So I'm like, I don't have a good green thumb, that kind of thing. But I use her as guidance to help me with the garden, with the flowers, things like that.
So that's a healthy comparison.
It's a healthy comparison. I don't always, 9 times out of 10, I do not healthy compare. So I'm just going to throw that out there. But like, what was your question?
Why do people compare?
Yeah, I think it's because sometimes they view the other person as doing better or having better or whatever it may be.
And I do want to rephrase it for listeners, because when I say why do people compare,
it does kind of sound.
I'm not necessarily meaning like comparing my job to their job and seeing what's different and saying like, oh, that's cool that you do this. This is what I do. I meant the unhealthy compare. Like what is it that makes a person look at someone else and get upset or feel anxious about a situation that they are in?
Yeah.
Do you think that it comes from just how the world is presented in some of these like social media channels? Like stuff can be perfect and a person can be so miserable or maybe not miserable, but like unhappy, and seeing so many other people living a certain way makes them even more unhappy.
Yes.
And then that becomes the negative part of like comparing yourself to other people, where it affects you emotionally.
Yes. Social media literally, like, it's so good and it's so bad at the same time. Like, We just talked about this before we even started this upstairs. I kid you not. I was like, guess what this, I'm not going to say anything, but like, guess what this so-and-so did? Like, guess what's happening in their life now? And I told you, and then it's like, well, you got to remember this happened and they had this and they had that. And then I had another reality check where it was like, okay, maybe I might not maybe I may not have all the opportunities that they have. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And then I leave it alone. But especially for moms, and I'm not even for moms, honestly, especially for women, in my opinion.
Yes.
Have it hard in kids, in youth.
Yes.
I will say.
And because I want to kindly interrupt because you saying that, it reminded me early on when we first had kids, I did not understand why we had to have a certain type of stroller. We had to have a certain type of car seat. Yeah. And you will always say to me, like, if I'm at the park and we live in this community because we're making this amount of money and we have this, like, these type of people around us. If I'm riding and we have a stroller wagon and not just a regular, you call it a dinky stroller or whatever it is. Dinky
stroller, and no harm out there if you have this stroller. But I'm talking about them Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, one-person strollers that will barely fit a 2-year-old. I'm talking about those.
Yes, but with the larger ones, we could put pictures up of the one that...
We do have a very expensive wagon.
We do.
Yes, but that can fit 4 children.
And I understand now. But during the time when you were telling me this, all I could think of was like, why would another woman judge you for having a certain stroller or look at you like, oh, she's probably this type of mom because she has this type of stroller or she has this type of vehicle or her hair is done this way and that way. And it's like, why does it matter? Yeah, she has her kids in a stroller. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we got the expensive wagon, but we did not get the car seats that I wanted, but the car seats are still safe.
Yes. Or the car.
Or the car. Yeah, we only have the wagon.
But okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But moms still do it to this day with like comparing.
Okay, so I have a hard question for you.
Yes.
Because I don't know if maybe I have a good answer, but from a woman's perspective then, why do you think men don't do that to other men?
Y'all don't think. Like, you think, but you don't think as hard. Women think about everything. I kid you not.
We're in that particular department.
G-Bean, we're on this podcast right now. And do you want to know everything that's going on in my mind right now?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. We got to pick up the dog soon. When the kids get home, I have to think about dinner. We definitely still have to clean upstairs. There's still loads of laundry that needs to be done. I'm also thinking about the grocery list that I have to make for next week. I'm thinking about, oh my goodness.
Why do you do this to yourself?
Do you see what I'm saying?
This is why I love you. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love you. But
it's natural. And I'm also not panicking. So it's just like, this is literally how I live life.
Let me just think for a second, because there's things that men do judge men over.
Okay, as in?
The biggest thing is if you aren't taking care of your kids.
Okay.
For a lot of men, that's unforgivable.
Okay.
And so I think that for men, most of the time, and I'm speaking for me, maybe not all men, I'm just speaking for me and the guys I have around me. We tend to lean on the side of like extremity, where
is that okay?
If it's a word,
okay,
it's a word.
You said if it's not, I'm making a word. Okay.
If you are somewhere in the middle, let's say if you're working hard, you're working overtime, your wife loses her job, and you pick up extra hours, or you're building stuff around the house, or you're learning how to do more manual labor than what you did before, just to be able to help out. If your wife is under a lot of pressure, or other family members, and you're stepping in, you're being supportive, you're guiding, you're leading, and all that stuff. Even if you're a bad leader, guys would accept the fact that you are doing it and you're trying your best to do it.
I have questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, where'd it go? Okay. Because you talked about being a provider. You talked about being a leader. Has being a dad changed the way you compare yourself to others?
No.
Simple? No?
I can give you a reason why.
Okay.
And I maybe for people who didn't have their fathers in their life, it could be different.
Okay.
But because I had a great father in my life, and then later on, God blessed me with other father figures in my life.
Yes.
I've always had good men around me. And so I never really had to compare myself to other newer dads or anything like that because none of it really mattered.
I like that. Yeah.
So for me, no, it didn't change anything.
Okay. Now, do you think men talk about comparison enough?
When it comes to money, yes. When it comes to money, men will compare a lot.
Okay. Now,
when it comes to your house,
yes,
men will compare a lot. When it comes to your car, men will compare a lot.
So material things.
When it comes to your wife,
yes,
men will compare a lot in terms of what their wives are doing.
Okay.
So if I have a wife that cooks, that stays at home, that has given me, 3-4 different kids and all this other stuff, and the other person's wife would, doesn't do some of those things, but our comparing is different. Our comparing, at least like I said, the type of men that I'm around, it's not, oh man, you need to leave her, you need to do this, or it's not a negative comparison. It's more of a, man, what are you doing that's getting your wife to act this way?
Okay, so it's flipped on me. So it's like, how are you doing this instead of a...
It's a healthy comparison. It's a healthy comparison. I've never had, even early on, even in like the dating phase or anything, when men compare themselves, it's always about what they have behind them. Depending on the neighborhood you're in and the society you grew up in, I guess you could say, you will get compared by the clothes that you wear, the watch and stuff like that. But those are all minor things. The bigger things that men will look at you, and I think men judge your character.
Okay. There's men and there's boys.
Yes. But it all kind of relates on the higher end, because if me and another guy show up and we both have the same type of family environment and we both make the same amount of money, they're still going to look at him different if he has a Rolex on and I don't have a watch on at all. Okay, I feel you. But it's not a negative comparison. It's always raising the question of like, why?
That's interesting. That is
like, I've never looked at another dad that had a dinky stroller or
I mean, I've also
anything.
Well, don't say it like that, because I've also never looked at a mom like, oh my gosh.
But I've seen other moms do it to each other, is what I'm saying. And so, and I've seen women that aren't moms still do it to other women. Yes. And seeing that, I've never seen that happen with guys.
Well, with women, it's so different too, especially when it comes down to their children, because it's such a touchy subject. So like strollers and stuff like that, that's something so small. But like even with breastfeeding, some people, there's like a huge thing with breastfeeding, like or nursing, if you're pumping or if you're whatever, fed is best, whatever, like all of that is controversial, which is like mind boggling to me. Like what?
So
like,
it's not just do what's best for you.
No, it's like you need to breastfeed your baby, or if you formula feed your baby, this, that, and a third. And I'm gonna be honest, when I was with Ella, I was freaking out when I had to give her formula. Like, you remember, like it was bad. I was freaking out when I had to get her formula. After giving her formula, I'm like, she's alive. Why am I freaking out about it? Like so
they make it for a reason.
They literally make it for a reason. Yeah. So nursed her for 6 months. Then with Alora, it was like, it was like, whatever happens. I'm literally still nursing her now. And it's just like, but she's happy, you know? So it's like, so that was a huge topic. Then it's something as small as, it's literally like something as small as like what your kids are wearing, what school they're going to, if they're going to preschool, if they're going to daycare. Like, so it's just like why do we put this pressure, unnecessary pressure on ourselves? If it works for you and your family, it works. Now, if you're going to put your child in harm's danger or harm's way, that's a completely different topic. But if you're caring for your child the best that you can, and they have food on the table and clothes on their back and living in an environment that is safe for them, why is someone else in my business when you don't pay the bills?
Is it a maturity thing?
I can say it's a maturity thing, but I also think it's a control thing. Like, people always want to have a sense of control when it's like, no, you can control your household. Bye. But like, not over here. Because as for me and my house, not only will we serve the Lord, but we're going to mind our business and do what we have to do for our family.
You heard it. You heard it there.
Point blank, period.
Okay. So getting back to the comparison, obviously social media is big.
Yes.
And everybody, probably not everybody, because you have people that don't use social media, but most people are on social media every single day. And when you're watching other people, I feel like there's moments where you don't even know you want something until you see someone else that has it. So for you and for others, if you want to comment in the comments, what is one moment that you didn't even recognize it was there, or it was something that you didn't even know that you needed or wanted to be like or grow into, until you saw that someone else had it first? And you saw how much joy it brought to them through social media, because we don't really know. And you were like, well, I want that.
That is such a good question. And I'm ashamed of my answer.
Okay. But let's hear it.
Because it's quite a few things. Like,
okay,
something is small, and people who like watch my reels on Instagram, like really watch and pay attention, you would kind of know. But like,
so they can see your face.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. But water bottles, for some odd reason, water bottles, like something as small as a water bottle. And I still, well, you actually owe me a water bottle because you got mine stolen. But yes, something as small as a water bottle. But the other thing, and you're helping me with this challenge right now, is literally a house and a car, which we are sitting in our house and we are about to go in our car and go do what we got to do. So it is something, it is weird. And like, for those who know us personally, like, you know where we used to live. Like, you've seen our apartments. You've seen like how they looked and this, and like how we lived and things like that. So like, there's a certain mindset that I have that I'm just like always trying to achieve. And you still know this because I'm still like this today. But I had to change my mindset. And my grandma had came over after I had Alora, and she was like, essentially, you're going to get what you're praying for. You have to stay humble. And I'm like, if those who know my grandma knows my grandma. When she says stuff, you pay attention, but it's also like, why are you telling me that? Like, I feel like I'm a humble person, but it wasn't until after I literally let go and let God to where I realized, okay, I am being humble, but I am not being, I don't even know. I feel like that's something personal that I like can't even put words to, honestly. But it's just one of those things, like, it's the house and the car. I would love a bigger house, the big windows, natural light kind of windows, floor to ceiling, like all of that. I would love it. I also want more kids, so that's kind of like, I'm gonna add that in there. But like, to make it feel just like home. But honestly, we're making this house feel like home. So it's just like, I'm okay with waiting. The other thing is the mom car. But I even changed our name. Like, I was like, it's not a mom car. It's our family car.
You did.
So, because it's not even mine. Like, it like, you know what I'm saying? So those are like the things. But wasn't thinking about any of it besides the house. I feel like I've been talking about the house forever. But like, all of that are not things that I just like will wake up one day and say, oh, I want. But as soon as I see somebody with this gorgeous house, or everybody's getting the Yukon and the Grand Highlander and all of those, and the Tahoes and the all of those, and I'm just like, I want that. I don't need it. Oh well.
Well, we need something bigger.
We do need something bigger.
But that's where our conversation came from. What's affordable is a town and country.
Which, okay, pause for a second. Let me just throw this out there because we have to hurry up. I told you about the town and country.
No, you did. And I didn't listen at first.
Yeah.
And by the time I came around to it, you were stuck on the Yukon.
That's because you took too long. You got to pick it up. Okay. Should have been quicker than that. Yeah. But now, yes, now my heart is literally set. I don't know if it's 100% set on the Yukon because there's other vehicles that I like that I'm currently looking at. But yes, I like large SUVs. But
that makes sense.
Let's go. So good question. Okay, my question for you is, do you think comparison ever creeps into our marriage?
Not so much now.
Elaborate. And you have like 7 minutes.
So I believe that, and this is deep, and I feel like maybe not most, a lot of marriages can probably deal with this. I believe that when you watch worldly things, whether that's on the internet, whether that's certain models on Instagram, whether it's certain clubs, whether that's a bar or whether it's professional dancers, I think that when you see a lot of that, it becomes an expectation for certain things when you get home. And I think that influences what you expect from your partner.
Your partner? Okay. Can you like give an example?
When I am in an environment, how do I phrase it? Let me see. When I am in an environment where I get all of this attention without even seeking it.
Right.
And then I say, oh no, I'm good. I'm done. I'm going to be faithful. This is my woman now. And I cut all of that attention off that was feeding my ego.
Yep.
Now I turn around and I'm looking at you like, why aren't you all up on me every single day?
Right.
What's the problem?
Right.
Like, you supposed to be hand over my shoulder. You supposed to be texting me this. What's going on?
Right.
And you're looking at me like, chill. Like, and it's because I'm putting all of that pressure on you to fulfill my ego that I was once getting filled in the wrong way. And I think that when you take that, there's extreme versions, adult versions to keep our podcast clean. Yeah. But when you take it to the extreme, I think that situation can get worse and worse.
Yeah. Agreed. I remember that. Our love languages are different. His is definitely physical touch and mine is quality time.
Yep. And I used to misinterpret that because I used to think, well, having time that is physical time is quality time.
I'm like,
so it's like, oh, let's watch a movie. It's like, yeah, turn on the movie. 10 minutes later, it's like, all right, so what are we doing?
Yeah, that's
that's not quality time.
Like, that's literally not quality time.
And mean,
not that it's not quality time.
Right, but it wasn't
not quality.
It's not the quality time you were looking for.
Exactly.
And that's a whole nother subject of like learning to love your partner and stuff. But this is a good conversation in terms of comparing yourself.
Yeah.
And I would challenge everybody to like self-reflect. How are you comparing yourself in a negative way? If it's a healthy comparison, just like when you're doing when you do sports or games, if it's a healthy
Fitness, that's one thing
competitive
that I even didn't think about.
Fitness
too.
is easy to compare yourself,
Yes.
1000%.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy to compare yourself to your own self,
Yeah.
especially when you were used to be the man,
Yeah.
and then now you hopping out, you know, not so
When
much
you
the
used
man
to
no
be
more.
able to do the splits, and then you look back and it's like, yeah, if I do that, I'm going right to urgent care.
So I challenge everybody listening to self-reflect on some of the stuff that we talked about. Leave your comments below, like, subscribe, follow on all platforms. And this is A Balanced Home.
Thank you.
Should I go what I don't know?